Welcome back to Listen English, the podcast where we help you learn something new every day.
It's great to be back. And today we're doing something a little different.
Oh.
We're diving into a story that I think you could almost call corporate psychological horror.
Whoa, okay, that's a strong start. Are we talking like ghosts in the server room?
Worse. Much worse. We're talking about that 2 p.m. meeting. You know the one?
Oh.
The one that absolutely could have been an email.
Yes. The horror is real. I just felt an actual chill.
So the story is called The Boring Meeting, and it follows a character named Sarah. But we're not just here for this story.
Or not?
No. We're going to treat this text like a crime scene.
A crime scene. Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the crime?
Wasting time. And the evidence is the language. We're going to pause and look at 5 key English idioms that pop up.
I love this because you hear these phrases all the time, right? And your brain just kind of glazes over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So today, we're going to stop, we're going to pull them apart and really figure out what they mean and maybe more importantly, how you can use them.
Perfect. So let's set the scene. Where are we?
We are in a cold conference room. Our hero, Sarah, is sitting in the 3rd chair from the door.
The 3rd chair, that's a tactical position.
Oh, absolutely. Not too eager, but with a clear line of sight to the exit. She's a veteran.
Clearly. And the story says this is her 4th meeting this week.
The 4th. I mean, by that point, you're just on autopilot.
For sure. You're just scanning for keywords. And the slides are the same. The promises are the same. It's monotony.
It's corporate Groundhog Day. And into this silence, the manager feels the need to speak.
Of course he does.
He clears his throat. And he says, "Let's get the ball rolling."
And there it is, our first piece of evidence. Get the ball rolling.
Sarah apparently almost smiles because he says it every single time.
Right. So let's stop here. What is it about this phrase? Why not just say, let's begin?
That's a great question. I think "let's begin" feels a bit, well, flat. Get the ball rolling has energy. It implies physics.
Physics.
Yeah, think about it. It's about inertia. It's like a really heavy ball that's sitting still. The hardest part is that very first push.
So he's basically saying, this room has 0 energy. Please help me start pushing.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
He's trying to create momentum out of thin air. He's framing the meeting as an action, not just a discussion.
But the irony, as Sarah notes, is that the ball never really goes anywhere.
That's the tragic part. He uses this phrase about starting something, but it just leads to more sitting.
So for anyone listening, how do you use this one correctly so you don't sound like Sarah's manager?
You use it when you're starting something that has multiple steps, a process. You wouldn't say, "Let's get the ball rolling on taking out the trash."
Right. You just do it.
But you would say, "Okay, team, let's get the ball rolling on the new marketing campaign." It signals the start of a journey.
I like that. Okay, so the ball is theoretically rolling. What happens next?
Well, a long presentation, of course, full of charts that look very official but don't actually say much.
Been there. And Sarah's just doodling to look busy.
It's a classic survival tactic, performative productivity.
Huh. Yes. And then, 20 minutes in, a colleague makes a suggestion.
What do they say?
They suggest that everyone should touch base next week to discuss progress.
Touch base. The king of all corporate idioms.
Sarah is not impressed. The story says her internal joke is that they've been touching base for months and the base was clearly worn out.
I love that line. The worn out base. Such a great image.
So let's break this one down. It's from baseball, right?
100% from baseball. The base is your safe spot. When you're on the base, you're safe. You can't get out.
So touching base is like a quick check-in at a safe point?
Exactly. And the key word there is quick. It implies a brief, low-stakes contact. Hey, just wanted to touch base. It's not supposed to be a 2-hour meeting.
But that's how it's being used here, isn't it? As a delay tactic.
Totally.
Yeah.
Here, touching base means, let's not solve this now. Let's schedule a time to talk about maybe solving it later. It's the illusion of progress.
So can you use it in a good way?
Oh, for sure. It's actually a fantastic tool for politeness.
How so?
Well, instead of saying, "Hey, where's that report you promised me?" which sounds pretty demanding.
Yeah, a bit aggressive.
You can say, "Hi, just wanted to touch base on that report." It's softer, It's friendlier, it's collaborative.
I see. So it's a social lubricant. I'm just checking in.
Precisely. Just,
Yeah.
actually keep it brief when you do it.
Got it. Okay, so the meeting continues. They start talking about goals they've discussed a million times before. And then someone insists, we need to be on the same page.
The call for unity, on the same page.
And Sarah's internal thought is just devastating. She thinks, we're on the same page? We're just reading it over and over without turning it?
Oof. That is a perfect description of a project that is completely stalled.
So where does this one come from, being on the same page?
The general thinking is that it comes from music, like a choir or an orchestra.
Oh, okay.
Imagine you have 100 singers. If half of them are on page 10 and the other half are on page 12, it's not going to sound good.
It's going to be a disaster.
It's chaos.
Yeah.
For it to work, everyone literally has to be looking at the same sheet of music, the same page.
That makes so much sense. It's about synchronization.
It is. But there's kind of a dark side to it in the office.
There's a dark side.
Sometimes. When a manager says, let's make sure we're all on the same page, what they sometimes mean is, let's make sure you all agree with my page.
It's not a suggestion, it's a command.
It can be a way to shut down disagreement politely. Okay, enough debate, let's get on the same page now, can mean get in line.
Wow. That really changes the feel of it. But it's also useful, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In any team project, it's crucial. You have to check for alignment. You can say, okay, before we move forward, are we all on the same page about the deadline?
Yeah, that's a good way to prevent problems later. A confirmation tool.
Exactly. You're not demanding agreement, you're confirming understanding. It's a really useful, healthy thing to do.
Okay, back to Sarah's meeting. She's now started planning her lunch and thinking about making a meeting bingo card.
Buzzword bingo. It's a real thing. It's a genuine coping mechanism.
It really is, but her daydreaming is interrupted. The manager starts talking again, and he spends 10 full minutes explaining a very simple problem without ever actually saying what the problem is.
Oh, that is painful. Just agony.
Sarah sighs and thinks he was clearly beating around the bush.
Here we go. Idiom number 4. Beating around the bush.
It's so visual.
It really is. What is the image here? Are we attacking a plant?
Sort of. It comes from medieval hunting, bird hunting specifically.
Okay, I'm listening.
So the nobles, the hunters, they would wait in a clearing. The birds, though, were hiding in the thick, thorny bushes.
Right.
The rich guys didn't want to go in there, so they'd hire assistants called beaters to take sticks and literally beat the bushes. To scare the birds out into the open.
Exactly. So the beating around the bush was the preliminary action. It wasn't the main event. The main event was actually catching the bird.
So in a conversation, if you're beating around the bush, you're doing all the noisy, indirect stuff instead of getting to the point.
You've got it. You're circling the main topic because you're afraid to address it head on.
And why would the manager be doing that?
Usually, it's fear. The truth, the bird, in our metaphor, is something unpleasant. Bad news.
Like the project failed or they lost money.
Probably. So instead of saying, we lost the client, he says, well, due to shifting market dynamics and a reevaluation of our core synergies.
Stop. It's too real.
It's painful. And it's why listeners get frustrated. They just want you to say the thing.
So is there a polite way to get someone to stop? Can I say, stop beating around the bush to my boss?
I would.
Mm.
Strongly advise against that. It's very direct, almost confrontational.
Okay, good to know.
But with a friend, you can. You can smile and say, hey, it's okay. You don't have to beat around the bush. Just tell me. It gives them permission to be direct.
That's a good way to put it. Or you could use it on yourself to show you're being direct.
Yes, that's a great use. Look, I'm not going to beat around the bush. The news isn't great. It builds trust.
Okay. So the manager finally runs out of bush to beat. Reality hits.
The truth always comes out.
The team finally admits the plan isn't working. The whole room goes silent.
A moment of truth.
And the manager says the final words. It was time to go back to the drawing board.
And there it is. Our 5th and final idiom. Back to the drawing board.
Sarah actually circles it in her notebook. She sees it as the official end. It feels so final.
It is an admission of failure, but a very specific kind.
What do you mean?
The phrase comes from a famous cartoon from the 1940s. It shows an engineer walking away from a crashed airplane, blueprints under his arm, and the caption is, well, back to the old drawing board.
Wow. So it's not just a small mistake, it's a total crash.
Exactly. It means the entire design is flawed. You can't just fix it. You have to throw away the plans and start over from scratch. From a blank page.
That explains the quiet in the room. They're basically admitting that all their previous work was for nothing.
It's a bit like a moment of mourning for that wasted effort. But there is a positive side to it.
Oh, yeah.
It's also an idiom of resilience. He didn't say, it's over. He said, let's go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
It implies a new beginning.
That's a great point. It's failure, but it's optimistic failure. This didn't work, so let's invent something that will.
Right. It's a necessary part of innovation. You have to be willing to scrap a bad idea to find a good one.
Though in Sarah's case, it probably just means another round of boring meetings.
For Sarah, yes. It's just the start of another cycle.
So the story ends with her leaving, feeling tired, but also amused. Her big takeaway is that humor is the best survival tool.
It's a wise conclusion.
You know, when you lay these 5 idioms out, they tell a story all on their own, don't they?
They absolutely do. It's a narrative arc.
You start off and you get the ball rolling.
Then you have to touch base to keep things
So
moving.
you make sure you're on the same page so there's no confusion.
But then something goes wrong and people start beating around the bush.
Until finally it all fails and you have to go back to the drawing board.
It's the entire circle of corporate life right there.
It really is. And for anyone listening, understanding that arc, understanding what these phrases signal is so powerful.
It really is. They're not just words. They're signposts telling you where you are in the process.
So you're not just a victim of the meeting anymore. You're an analyst.
Exactly. You go from being confused by the language to being a master of it.
A master of the boring meeting. I like the sound of that.
Me too.
Well, I think we have successfully dissected Sarah's very painful afternoon.
I hope this deep dive was a little more engaging than her actual meeting.
I think we did okay. We got the ball rolling, and I think we stayed on the same page.
I see what you did there. Very smooth.
So, a final thought for our listeners. The next time you're in a meeting, listen for the patterns. Don't just listen to what people are saying. Listen to how they're saying it.
Ask yourself why they chose that phrase. Is touch base about efficiency, or is it about avoidance?
It will totally change how you experience those meetings, and it might even keep you awake.
A worthy goal for any meeting.
That's all for today's episode of Listen English. If you found this helpful, please subscribe, like, and share this podcast with a friend who is also learning. Don't forget to come back tomorrow for another story to keep your streak alive.